Good morning and a very warm welcome to all our dear participants on day 3 of the Zen Onco and Dr. Sujata Singhi welcoming you on this beautiful sessions of how to handle life with regards to facing critical diseases like cancer. Wonderful. We had 2 days, and today, as we march ahead on day 3, we have with us Mr. Deepak Shah. How can life be without laughter? And today we are going to have an eminent personality who is going to talk about yoga and laughter. He's been very passionate about yoga and has been practicing it for almost 10 years now. And he loves imparting this knowledge to all the people, especially to the people who feel that there is something which needs to excite them on a regular life. Not just a normal person, not just a person who is depressed, but I guess all of us, irrespective of where we are, what we do, what is happening in our body, we all need laughter. We all need yoga to keep ourselves happy, fit, and healthy. So over to Mr. Deepak. We're all excited to meet you, to talk to you, to hear you, and to actually experience what you're going to teach us today. So on to you, Mr. Deepak.
Okay. Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
What's your name? I forgot your name, host.
My name is... So sorry.
Yeah.
It's Dimple from Zen Onco.
I will request to unmute all the participants, and we start with before going for any instruction or anything. We will start with some warm up with clapping. Clapping is a very good exercise, and we can do. All people will get warm up with this exercise, and this is the acupressure points, and we are activating ourselves for the further session. So I will request everybody to have clapping like this and with laughing. Everybody, we can laugh, no? Yeah, with clapping. Yeah, with all the points getting connected, getting pressed. Yeah. We can laugh, no? With clapping and laughing together.
Baksha is clapping for you. Why? Open your microphone and say something.
Okay. Now we will make it a little fast now. Okay? We will make it a little fast. Come on, everybody. Get charged. Yeah. This is a very handy technique to get charged for anything, no? Come on. Yeah. Okay. So I am Deepak Shah, and we are going to learn life lessons from yoga today, and how we can treat the cancer that way. Okay, so I will start with one quote from Norman Cousins, on basis of whose life all laughter yoga has started. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss in what dies inside us when we leave. So we are not knowing what we are killing ourselves, no? How we are killing ourselves. So death is not the final loss in the life. So what we are killing ourselves, no? By not flourishing ourselves, letting flourish ourselves. It's the greatest thing. See, Norman Cousins was diagnosed of ankylosing spondylitis. This is a condition which has one chance in 500 of recovery. Cousins developed his own recovery program. I have bring this quote today because this is the first incidence, official incidence where the patient has designed his own recovery. So he has written one book, Anatomy of Illness, was the first book written by a patient that spoke to our current interest in taking charge of our own health. It started the revolution in patients working with their doctors and using humor to boost their body's capacity for healing. So now, what is cancer? Cancer refers to any one of a large number of diseases characterized by the development of abnormal cells that divide uncontrollably and have the ability to infiltrate and destroy normal body tissue. Cancer often has an ability to spread throughout our body, and cancer is the second leading cause of death in the world. See, cancer, it is breaking our natural body cells rhythm. Our body is like a river, ever flowing. We have marked, we have changed from the childhood, from our birth, from our childhood to youth, and now we are young and old. So our body is always flowing, no? It has its own rhythm. But these cancer cells break its own rhythm. Cancer develops when the body's normal control mechanism stops working. Old cells do not die and instead grow out of control, forming new abnormal cells. These extra cells may form a mass of tissue called a tumor. Some cancers, such as leukemia, do not form tumors. See, importance here is our immune system. We should understand that we humans are not machine product, mechanical. We are generic. Everybody is unique. And we humans have ability to respond to any situation. And that is at peak. Our intelligence is at peak of all the creatures in this world. What is yoga? Now I will come to yoga. Yoga is a way of life that empowers us to know ourselves better. Yoga has all the answers to the most profound and popular question, who am I? Most of us live a life without even giving a second thought to this question. But yoga can help us to get closer to the essence of who we truly are and to awareness of what is our duty. A true yoga sadhaka strives to travel inward to transform himself into the best version of self. Now, how can yoga help with cancer? There are two stages. One thing is preventive. Yoga, basically this yoga therapy as a therapy is more like a preventive. When we live with yoga, we will prevent cancer or for that matter any other disease not to enter to our personality. And second thing, now if as a management of cancer and as a cure, how can we use yoga techniques to complementary to various cancer treatments? Okay, yoga lifestyle. Yoga is a way of life which includes our ahar, vihar, achar and vichar. We have to work on all of these four areas. See, we are intelligent. We are like an intelligent mobile without user manual. And we are top at the intellect nowadays and technology also. Because of technology, we are connected, no? So, but we are at the poorest stage of our physical part. We are maximum using intellect as our development. But intellect only can cut, can diagnose, but cannot join. Yoga is here to join. And what is ahar, vihar, achar, vichar? First, to understand ahar, vihar, achar, vichar, we have to understand that importance of hunger and sleep in our life. If we can understand that we are getting proper hunger and we can eat and whatever we are eating get digested, then we are healthy. Otherwise, we are just mechanically eating the things, and for the taste, we are eating the things, and it is not get digested, and then we are creating all this cycle of diseases and not well-being. And second thing, the second criteria is sleep. If our sleep quality we have disturbed, then naturally bodies when we are sleeping, our body is getting rejuvenated. But if we are not getting proper sleep or we are not getting sound sleep, then our body will not get rejuvenated and will regularly will prone to the disease. Ahar we will talk on later stage, but for Vihar is like our recreation and the surrounding in which we live. Our recreation part is very much important, because in the face of running, we are just running the life, no? Maybe for anything like, no? And we have forgotten to know ourselves. We have forgotten to recreate ourselves. Recreation we are not doing. We are not addressing our hobbies, our interest areas, our love, compassion, and all these things we are not addressing. So that is lacking, and we are growing on the one dimension only. So one dimension growth will definitely not be used. Yoga is to have all dimension, multi-dimensional growth of a personality. And then achar is like our behavior to the society, how we behave, and how our thoughts and our behavior is affecting each other. See, truth is like when we have some different thought and we are not working accordingly, then we are not working according to the truth. It says. So achar is like in yoga we call it yam niyama. Yam is ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, and aparigraha. And niyama is shauch, santosh, tap, swadhyaya, and ishwar pranidhan. So we have to combine these things in the life to live a happy life and healthy life. We have to work on all these 4 areas. Thought process is very much important, because thought process creates our body chemistry. So if we are not able to manage our body thought, then our body chemistry will get changed and will not be healthy, and will more prone to any diseases or any infections. Regarding cancer, we generally link cancer with the death. If person is diagnosed with the cancer, then he is near to the death. We have just that idea in our mind, but this is a big mistake. Our death is fixed at the time of our birth. Whoever is born is going to die in any case. Crying will not treat the disease, but worsen it. Don't link disease and death. Any type of intense disease, for the matter, can cause death. If we have acute lung problems, then also it can be create death. So for that matter, any disease in intense stage can cause the death. Cancer is in the body. Don't bring it to your mind. We are not born to suffer in life. We got the disease because we have done something wrong. Find out the areas and correct. Don't feel hopelessness and helplessness. See, these feelings we have to avoid. We have to learn. We have to manage how we have to think. Because thinking process will create our chemistry, and chemistry has a very impacting effect on our personality. Body has its own rhythm, actually, on reflection to the situation. Body knows how to handle anything. See, any external part, any imported part in the body knows how to handle it. Let the body work on it. We have to let the body work on it. Keep yourself calm and relaxed. Avoid fatigue, negative thinking. Rest for every 2 hours and take more sleep. So now I think we will have some laughter exercises, and we will go further then. Okay? So what we can do, we are just facing Corona, no? So now we are good actors, no? Anyway, so what we will do, right? We will act cleaning our hands with sanitizer. Okay, everybody, just we laugh and fun. See, keep our child live. We have to keep our inner child live, no? So just act cleaning with the sanitizer and just like this and wash your hands. Laugh it out. Okay, and now after cleaning our body, our hands, we have to clean our mind, vichar shuddhi. That should be also there. So imagine we have dental flows, no? Imagine one mental flows also, and there are two holes in your brain, and we are cleaning our brain with mental flows. Okay, everybody, start doing this. Clean our all ego, worries, fear, everything is, just imagine that everything is going out. We are laughing out on worries. When we laugh on worries, no, worry will disappear. Clean everything, yeah. Imagine that everything is getting clean from your brain. Fear is the main culprit. We are just fearing anything, yeah. Just clean. And now collect all your garbage from our brain like this and put it in your hand, put it in your palm. Okay? And now we will wash it out. See, imagine that we are now clean. We have clean our all mental garbages and body clean. We have clean our body also. And just have a laughter, have a gradient, have a just hearty laughter. Okay? Ready? Start. We have cleaned ourselves. No? So just enjoy that cleanliness in our body. We are not worrying. We don't have any fear. We are just enjoying our man, our human. See, any problem, anything, just we see lightly, no? We will get energy to solve it. It will not solve your problems, but you will get positive energy to solve it. You will get that mindset to solve the problems. Now, regarding our cancer diagnosis and cancer treatments, now, see, just I told previously, no, we have to take charge of ourselves. And we have to just know how to control. We can control our inner chattering. Our inner chattering is very much culprit of our. So we have to learn. See, the pranayama and yoga asana, these techniques are useful to control that inner chattering also. We'll understand this later on the later stage when we'll go for some pranayama or asana part, no? And science says that in a year, our 98% body cell changes. This is a very much important thing. This opens a hope that if we can learn to manage our body cells, we can get rid of cancer-affected cells from our body. And we have to understand that faith is a technique. Faith, I repeat, faith is a technique we need to develop. It is not inborn. Faith is not inborn. Faith is a technique we have to learn. See, our guru was saying that without a faith, if a person is like a child without mother, person without faith, without mother, small child, how he behaves, no? So like that, if we don't have faith in a higher reality or higher self or whatever you may call your deity or anything for that matter, but we don't have faith, then we will develop our worry session and all our personality will get affected. And last, one more thing we have to understand, that we humans are creatures of our habits. That is very much important. We have created this disease. This disease has come to us because of some wrong decisions or wrong working or wrong food style in my life, in any part or maybe multiple part of ahar, vihar, achar, vichar. And after certain age, it is very much difficult. I say difficult to change the habits. I have seen many cancer patients with certain habits. They cannot change their habits, and they don't wish to change their habit, and their mentality is like that. They cannot work on themselves. They don't know, and they don't want also to work on themselves. Just one culture it is developed in our personality nowadays. That is pill culture mentality. I call it pill culture mentality. So any disease, just get that pill and it will cure myself. It's very wrong thing. Our whole body is one unit, and any disease or anything not normal is symptom of that is something wrong going on in my body, in my mind. So I have to treat that thing. If I will treat only that particular disease, if I got headache and I will treat headache only, then I will extend to the more serious disease. I will make myself towards more serious disease. So we have to understand that we humans are creatures of our cell, and this whole world we are connected. We are breathing in the same environment. We are eating the same food. We are drinking the same water. So this whole world is connected, and we have to work on all these things, and we have to understand, and we have to build some good habits. We have to work on building some good habits to cure the disease. And anything created by the wrong habits can be only conquered through inculcating good habits only. This we have to understand. Now, we can use of some alternative therapies also. Laughter yoga is now recently since around 1996 they have founded. Ayurveda and homeopathy and yoga and all these things are 10,000 year old and time tested. So we can help for treatment of. We can get help to treat them, and we need to understand them first. And for understanding them, we need to understand ourselves first. Family is very crucial in this treating the disease, treating the cancer, because family members should understand that the person has got this diagnosed with the cancer, so he requires hope, he requires strength. So family can give him strength. They can make some good decision making. They can solve some emotional issues. Spouse particularly has to work to support, and other family member also can support. And support is the main important thing actually. I am associated with Laughter Yoga since 1996, and I have founded that. And there are many thousands of laughter clubs in India and across the world. There are in around 120, more than 120 countries. There are laughter clubs. So in laughter clubs, people are laughing together, and they are enjoying their companies, each other's companies, and then develop the relationship of caring and sharing, which is important part for the personality. I remember one incident that in Sima Raheja Garden, there is one laughter club run by Mr. Torne, and there is one anchor person, Sima Bhatt was there. She's there, and she diagnosed with the cancer. I think before 2 years, and as she was engaging herself to the laughter yoga, laughter club, so all the laughter members helped her a lot, and she came out of this, and she continued with her treatment, but also took help of yoga and laughter yoga. So that way she came out of that cancer. So that is important part. And one important part is change of atmosphere, particularly metro cities. Metro cities, we have polluted enough actually. So if situation permits or if one can afford, one should change the atmosphere actually and go to some healthy places, green environment, because we are breathing 25 around more than 25,000 a day. So it has a great impact on our personality. I remember one incident, one story of our Yoga Institute founder, Mr. Yogendra ji. His guru, while teaching his pranayam, at before I am talking this around before 100 years. Before 100 years also, while teaching him pranayama, the his guru his guru let him go to the Matheran. He teach pranayam at Matheran only. At that time in Bombay also only. So how polluted, we have to understand what is the value of pure air to our health. One more thing you have to understand. Don't tell and discuss about your disease to everybody and anybody. We have generally tendency to get sympathy from somebody, and that way, this is not going to treat anyway. If that is important person, and he can give you some guidance regarding treating your disease, then that's fine. But what happens when we regularly repeat some negative things? No, it gets restored in our subconscious mind. So it has a very worsen effect. So don't just think about that thing. Just decide your therapy, decide your how to treat it, and just forget about this and do your works. So don't discuss with everybody and anybody. And have a faith that all types of cancer can be overcome with yoga. Yoga is not, I'm not talking of just yoga as a physical exercise. It's a way of life. Daily good diet, yogasana with pranayama can make any person feel fit in no time. By performing yoga asanas, good energy is generated in the body, which also removes the negative effect of chemotherapy and radiotherapy done during the cancer treatment. So we have to understand that thing. See, pranayama is very much important, because what happens in cancer, person may not be fit to do certain asanas, mentally or physically also. So pranayama can be helpful. Pranayama, we have to understand that as not merely taking oxygen and just breathing technique. It's whole energy management of the body. And once we do some pranayama regularly, daily, and at a fixed time and fixed place, that has importance. So it will be, unless and until any good habit become your daily routine part, you will not going to have that impact on your disease. So for having a good impact, you learn to do some pranayama regularly at fixed time and at some fixed interval also. Daily 2-3 times we can do. We can design 5-10 minutes of pranayama and do it for 2-3 times also. Before lunch, before dinner, before morning, before any breakfast, or after some exercise or walking, anyway, that way. So we have to inculcate that in our daily routine. There are certain good pranayama, just we have to learn how to do them. We'll practice some pranayama now. First pranayama I will like to do is that exhale. See, exhale is very much important in our system. Because of our thought patterns and negative thoughts, maybe we are exhaling very less carbon dioxide, and it gets stored in our lungs. So we have to remove that residual air from our lung to have good breathing capacity. So I found this exhale from simply exhaling from the mouth like this. Breathing from the nostrils and exhale just like there is a फूक मारते हुए like I will request everybody to do it for 10 minutes, for 10 rounds. Inhale naturally from the nostrils and exhale. Anytime you are going with chemotherapy or anything, no, any worsen effects or negativity, just sit calmly and do this pranayama. Continue. You do it for 10 times. See, daily these type of good things with regular small intervals has a good impact on our personality. You must be feeling calming, no? Exhaling this way. Whenever we get some accident or some natural pain to our body, no, our natural tendency is exhaling from the mouth, no, like this. So just we have to develop that faculty, no? And we have to feel. Just exhale from your mouth. Inhale naturally from the nostrils. Our goal is to remove some residual air from our lungs, no? By exhaling long. When we will do long exhale, no? Naturally our inhale capacity will increase and we will get pure, fresh oxygen. Not blowing, just slowly, gradually, no stroke. See, we have to understand, we have to calm ourselves. Biggest problem is we are not able to get rest. We are not relaxing ourselves. And we are, in yoga terminology, we can say that we are doing hinsa towards self. Towards other people is a secondary thing. We are doing hinsa, violence towards self. We are not getting relaxed ourselves. And that is very much important. This is a very much calming, soothing effect. And we can do it with smile on the face also, no? Okay? Now we will do some 4 or 5 times with smile on the face. This pranayama is ever, see, before going for pranayama further exercise, I would like to have some responses from the members that what do they understand by energy management? Can anybody tell anything about their energy management, from where they are getting the energy and where they are spending the energy? Can anybody? That is important part, that we understand that how we are spending our energy. Energy is very much important for our life. No? We have to manage our income and expenditure account of energy. Can anybody tell anything? We get it from sun. Okay. getting energy from universe. Can any elaborate this? Foods grown under sun. Okay. But if we can eat food and we don't have hunger, can it give us energy? Okay, that's fine. Sun is always there, no? See, you believe it or not, but sun is always there. From our own perspective, we have to identify that where we are spending our energy. Can you tell anything? Where we are spending our energy? See, to fight the cancer, we require some energy in the body, no? Just don't just answer in broad way. Be specific, no? Yeah. Hema is now right. Negative thoughts, anger, worries. What they do? They exhaust ourselves, no? They exhaust our energy. Biggest consumption in thought process. Okay. Now getting on the right track. See, there are we are living in this marketing era, no? We have to understand actual thing. We have to, and that we understand only with self introspection only. There are ready-made on the food packet. There is ready-made vitamin E, vitamin D, and iron. Everything is written. See, we have to understand that any good food, if you will eat without hunger, will it problem for me or will it give me energy? If I am breathing and air is polluted, will that breathing will help me? So we have to understand ourselves. Everybody needs to create or maintain their energy account. Just today night before sleeping, make your energy account and understand where you are spending your energies and from where you are getting your energies. That is very much important to plan and to manage your life. One important thing is yoga, particularly Hatha yoga, is yoga hygiene. Yoga hygiene means it is told as a saucha, physical and mental. Body, before giving to any rejuvenating exercise or giving energy flow, we need to clear it, any toxins from the body. If we are having some toxins in the body, that energy inflow will not help much. If we are having negative thoughts or anger or worries, and we will eat something, it will not have good impact. It will have bad impact on our personality. Yeah, it is obvious. We have to understand that this is a balance is the key. Yoga is a balance. Yoga samatvam uchyate. Everything is required in the balance. That is right. Saucha means thought process also we have to understand. We have to ask ourselves. One thing I have found myself very much helpful is just question yourself for a particular problem 5 times. Suppose I am late today at my office. So I have to ask myself why I am late. Because I was not ready at the time and I lost my train. Why? Because I get up late. Why? Because I slept late. Why? Because I attended one party. Why you attended one party? I like it. Why you like it? I am like that. So we have to introspect ourselves before any decision or any treatment and find out the problem ourselves only. What is my problem? We have to address our belief systems also. Our belief systems get our decides our thought process, and our thought process create body chemistry. Whole hormone secretion part is dependent on our thinking and belief systems. So we have to learn and solve them, clear them. Saucha. Important part is saucha, physical as well as mental. See, today I have 45 minutes only to speak, so I cannot say much about all these things. But I have some online classes, regular morning yoga classes and laughter yoga classes. So anybody want to attend can collect from the management and they will give you. One more pranayam helpful for to treat the cancer is Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati, as Ramdev Baba is letting doing, is just only abdomen movement. Originally in Hatha Yoga, Kapalbhati is, Kapal means whole face and Bhati means it's ojas on the face. So to make the face ojas, with ojas, it is like just inhale and exhale with slow interest and not more. We have not anything in excess is the problem, no? So we have to just do it 30 times like this. Inhale and exhale slowly and speedily. Do it 30 rounds only. If you want, you can close your eyes and start it. Relax. And now exhale from the mouth as we do it previously. Anytime we want to relax ourselves, just exhale from the mouth. See this pranayama, what happens? Our emotions, our thoughts have direct impact on our breathing patterns. By changing our breathing patterns, we are breaking that thought processes. So when we are stuck with some problems, no, that is a problem. When we are stuck with anything, any thought, any person, or anything for that matter, it will create problem because our nature is to flow. But when we hang ourselves with particular problem, particular person, or particular thought, then we are creating problem. So to change that thought pattern, we require some technology, and this is technology. And one more thing, we have to understand that all things are technology only. Technology are help, just tools to help. Technologies are not enough in themselves. We have to understand this technology, we have to implement. As I have one must antidote on this technology part. That's this good knowledge, everything, this religious scriptures and all these things, temples. They are like a map. Map is helpful. Map is a tool to travel. But by just moving in the map, you will not reach anywhere. So to travel, you have to do it yourself only. Technology, we have to understand that pranayama we are doing for this purpose and it will affect this way. So basically, point is changing our belief systems, our thought process, and changing all these things to change our body chemistry. Kapalbhati is very much helpful. Exhale is very much helpful. One more pranayama is Shitali, particularly when people are getting chemotherapy or anything like the heat treatment when heat generates in the body. So Shitali is like just we are inhaling from the mouth, cool breath. Just eyes we got now. Just tongue we have to just move inward and or we can do it Shitkari like closing the teeth. Like this, we will feel calmness in the teeth and everything. This requires little practice actually. Like this, you must be feeling calmness. This way. And one more, it is regarded as the king of the pranayam is Anulom Vilom. Yeah, Kukal Visarja, yeah. Feel the calmness in your throat while inhaling from the mouth, like that. Anulom Vilom, yeah. Exhale from nostril. One thing I will tell in this regard, that see, everybody is unique, everybody is personal. So before, as a treatment or as a lifestyle, before implementing anything in the life, you need to understand yourself and understand from the proper guru or proper teacher. Just I am saying today, just to demonstrate, or just seeing in the videos, or just seeing in the TV, you don't have to implement it, because everybody is unique and everybody's personality is different. So accordingly, teacher or guru will tell what is good for you. Otherwise, it has a negative impact also. If a person is cold or lethargical, and he will do this cooling breathing, so he will become more lethargical. If person is having agitation and doing everything fast, and he will do Kapalbhati, then he will get more agitation only. So we have to understand these things. These are just technologies and applicable to whenever it is required, to whenever personality. And before implementing, you require to get guidance from proper teacher. Anulom Vilom is alternate nostril breathing, exhaling from one nostril, inhaling from the same nostril, exhaling from the other, inhaling from the same. Very much famous and very much important also. So it is basically balancing the two systems of our body. Sympathetic, it is balancing our sympathetic nervous system, which is active mind, and parasympathetic nervous system, which passively manages our system. So we have to balance all these things. So that Anulom Vilom is very much helpful. If anybody wants to learn anything, no, I have my yoga classes morning 6:30 to 7:30 on Google Meet only. So can attend, and or otherwise can get my contact number from the management and do group counseling, take some counseling session. I am doing counseling 100% free as an act of generosity. I am not charging anything for counseling. So if anybody wants, any patient is required of these things and required to implement pranayam or asana or anything for that thing, they can contact me and I will counsel them and will decide their regime, what they have to do. And accordingly, he or she can start. Bhramri, that is very much important, pranayam. Bhramri is just bee breathing, no? And this is just om, whole om chanting, but while keeping our mouth shut, keeping our lips together. It has a very good effect. We require to calm ourselves. And this pranayam, other than Kapalbhati, all I have listed here is just to calm ourselves. Bhramri we can do with focus in our different energy points at chakras, we call it. Or particularly if one person is facing cancer or some disease or some pain, particular part, so he or she can perform Bhramri while feeling vibration at that part. This is part of sound therapy also. So actually, there is one incident that at our yoga institute before around 50 or 60 years before. Some scientists from Russia came to learn Om chanting, and after learning this Om chanting here, he went to the Russia and developed his own therapy called sound therapy based on this Om chanting to treat the diseases. See, this is a very good technique. Om chanting and Bhramari Pranayam, and these two things are very much important. But you just take and learn from some good teacher and implement. See, practice is important. Haphazardly, once in a while, if you are doing anything, it will not going to help you anymore. Bhramari has a very good impact. And Udgit Om chanting. Om chanting full we can do also. And Udgit is just concentrating on our navel area and focusing on O, like this. Just concentrating on my navel area. I am just, while chanting this, I'm focusing on my navel area and feeling the vibrations. Concentration is the main thing which we need to develop to grow ourselves. And by doing this asana, pranayama, or Om chanting, anything, we are developing our concentration faculty. And by after developing our concentration faculty, we have to understand from where we have to focus, or where we have to focus, on what we have to focus. So that is important. We learn to first understand, we first learn to concentrate and then focus on where to concentrate. Because our mind just flowing here and there, no? And Ujjayi Pranayam, lastly, I will tell, Ujjayi Pranayam is from throat. Just like a sandwich, our tongue, we will press it toward the palate and just focus on our throat area and breathe in and breathe out. This also requires regular practice. It has a very good impact. It is named Ujjayi. That is, Ujjayi means that is victory on our thought processes. So we have to learn that also. There are also asanas our yoga institute recommends. Dynamic asanas with yoga rhythm also. That is also very much helpful. And with inculcate with asana are not mechanical physical exercise. Generally, we understand physical exercise and asana as the same thing. But asana has breathing, Yogendra rhythm breathing incorporated with it, and bhava. Bhava means there are 4 bhavas. Yes, differentiated. Gnana means knowledge and memory and awareness. Vairagya bhav, that is developing acceptance, surrender, and high reality. Forward bending asanas are for Vairagya bhava. Like Yog Mudra. It is named Yog Mudra only. Yog Mudra is to inculcate ourselves and understand ourselves, humility, politeness, surrender ourselves. Dynamic asana develops our gnana, that is memory and awareness, synchronization of mind, body, breathing. For Dharma Bhav, we have meditative postures in Padmasana, Parvatasana, and we have backward bending asanas for Aishwarya Bhav, that is to increase determination, confidence. Surya Namaskar is also helpful. I am also associated with laughter yoga. Laughter yoga has a very good impact, controls high BP, depression, anxiety, asthma, and bronchitis. It is a stress buster and anti-aging, strengthens the immune system, and is a natural painkiller. It is also an aerobic exercise and internal jogging. It makes you feel good and improves. So if anybody wants to take any help from me, myself, I am always open. You can contact me. For food part also, I think there is a special session for food. No? So he will take care of food part. So
Thank
if
you.
anybody want to ask any question.
Thank you, Deepak ji, for the wonderful session, information, and experience to share these practices and learnings with all of us. It was really beneficial. At the same time, I love when you say yoga is not just a physical activity, it's the way to live a life. And we always believe in science-based integrative oncology practices, and yoga is one of the important practice which we all should inculcate with disease, without disease, no matter what we are going through in our lives. It's a way to live a healthy and clean life. And if I talk about science, yoga has amazing benefit in managing or relieving side effects or symptoms, reducing treatment toxicity for cancer patients, those who are going through any of the medical treatment, be it chemotherapy or radiation or surgery or immunotherapy, whatever treatment you are going through. It's a way to support quality of life and promoting general well-being for all of us. And clinical evidence shows yoga can reduce stress, increase a sense of well-being in all of us, and impart more restful sleep in both newly diagnosed or long-term cancer survivors. Yoga has also reduced fatigue, joint pain, and number of hot flashes a patient experiences, while also increasing their vigor. And when we talk about these effects, so there are clinical studies done on this where it shows by the Society of Integrative Oncology, where they say that it has improved quality of life mainly in, the study was done on breast cancer. So mainly on breast cancer patients undergoing radiation therapy or lung cancer. And then there are different type of cancers. I'm just talking about the group studies which was done on yoga. A caution which we all need to take when we are practicing it at our home, it involves movement and balance. And novices are highly recommended to practice under the supervision of an expert, because sometimes maybe because of some cancer, your bones are weak, they are fragile, or maybe you have gone through some surgery which require extra attention in certain poses. So it's important that you consult an expert and then see what exercise to do. You can also check some videos or and I'm just gonna share integrative oncology WhatsApp group. So we keep on sharing some tips for anti-cancer lifestyle there. So those who want to get regular updates of sessions like this or anti-cancer lifestyle, they can join that group. I'm going to share this in a minute. And also I will share a form link. So this form is made for this session. There is Always Hope series. So the details of Yoga Master or the upcoming speakers and the video of this session and other information we will share on those email IDs which are registered with that form. Yeah. And yoga, a couple of things about key points on this, though Deepak ji has already explained it very well. Yoga involves regulated breathing, moving through various postures and stretches and meditation to achieve physical and emotional health benefits. So it has amazing benefits, physical benefits, psychological benefits, and psychosomatic benefits as well. And we when we do clinical research on this, we see that it has benefit to reduce stress. This is what we have seen in our patients: improve quality of life, improve sleep, and reduce fatigue, and other things we just talked about. Some medical condition, in special medical conditions, you should always see what kind of practices to do before you start doing it at your home. Because I have seen in my own family where the person was doing yoga, like rigorous yoga every day, and then also had back problem from last 5 years. But then the exercise was not meant for that back problem, and it actually made it worse, and the person had to go for lumbar spine L4 L5 surgery. So please take opinion before, if you have any special disease or any special condition in that case. So yeah, and thank you so much, Deepak ji, for the wonderful session.
If anybody has any question, or anybody wants to have counseling session, they also can.
Definitely will, yeah. So thank you. And it was, when we talk about integrative oncology, it's nothing but finding a balance between your medical treatment and complementary treatment. Both goes hand in hand to heal the body and to cure the cancer. So we will have tomorrow session, especially on anti-cancer diet, onco nutrition, So those who are interested in learning more about anti-cancer lifestyle, onco nutrition, anti-cancer foods, feel free to attend the session. We'll be sharing the link on the groups. And any guidance you need in this whole new world of cancer, be it connecting with other survivors or yoga master or any other expert, sound healing expert, we have Dr. Sujata Singhi. Do reach out, and we'll definitely help you in all the possible way we can. I'm just sharing 2 links here. One is link of the form, and second is link for Integrative Oncology WhatsApp group, where you will get details on all the next sessions. Is there any other question anybody wants to ask? There is a question, I'm not sure if it's answered. I'm sure Dr. Sujata, it must have been answered. Anulom Vilom deep inhalation.
Most of the questions have been answered, and as we had progressed with the talk, I guess all of them have been satisfied. And on this note, there is always hope. We have hope spreading out and coming in various forms in various ways. So see you all tomorrow. Join into the group, and let's all join together to make this world a happier place to live, not just for you and me, but for the whole world, which includes each one of us. Yes, so on that note, I think it's time to say bye-bye. And I think Dimple wants to share something. So over to her again.
Yes, sorry, just got a question from somebody, Ritu. Ritu, you have a question? We can probably take a couple of questions if anybody has. Sorry about that. Ritu, I cannot see you. Can you please raise your hand? Okay.
Oh, she needs to be unmuted. Okay.
You all can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
This is enabled. So please unmute yourself and ask questions.
Hello?
Yes, Ritu, please ask your question.
Yeah, madam, in Anulom Vilom, we have to do the natural slow inhalations or deep inhalations?
Over to you, Deepak ji. The question is for you.
I have not listened actually. I'm not hearing. What was this question? Can you repeat?
Sir, my question is that in Anulom Vilom, we have to do deep inhalations or slow natural inhalations. I mean, slow breathing.
Deepak ji, the question is, in Anulom Vilom, should we do deep inhalation or should we do natural slow breathing?
Initially, see, there cannot be any general answer. No? First, we have to understand that we have to exhale properly. So we have to learn to exhale. Unless and until we exhale properly, we will not get pure oxygen. So first, we have to concentrate on exhale. So while exhaling, we have to exhale maximum, no count first, and then inhale from the same nostril, then exhale from the another nostril, and inhale from the same nostril. I tell in my class, Mumbai's local train is an example for this Anulom Vilom. Passengers gets out from the on the platform, then passenger gets in and train travels to another station. So first exhale from the particular nostril, inhale from that nostril only, then exhale from other nostril and inhale. And exhale, focus on exhale. First focus on exhale, and then deep breathing and everything comes later on the later stage. First be natural and try to understand your thought process after doing. When you regularly do the Anulom Vilom, you will learn how your thought process is affected by this and your energy level is affected by this. So then if you are going good, doing regularly, then go for some counts or some deep breathing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
There is one more question coming up. What is a good time to do Kapalbhati?
Before any eating, any yoga exercise, pranayam, after breakfast, you can do it after 2 hours after breakfast or light eat, and after lunch or anything after 3 hours. Ideally, morning is the best time. But I recommend, and I personally do before morning in the breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner also. Have 10 minutes. So that has a good impact overall for the overall day. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this answering these queries, which may sound very simple, but yes, very, very important. So I guess
practice is important.
very true, very true. Practicing the perfect way makes it perfect, and not just practice makes perfect. So yes, thank you so much. And thank you to all the participants for your enthusiastic participation, and see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to talk about onconutrition. Very important. There was a question which came up, and tomorrow it will be answered, Faisal. So looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Stay happy, stay blessed. There is always hope. Thank you and bye-bye. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Deepak ji. Thank you all.